Joko, what's up? Lauren, how's my audio? Y'all tell me how my audio sounds. Yeah, it's early today. What's up, John DeNicola? That I need some help, maybe, John. Yeah, it's early today. Hey, I'm out here, man, down in Bolivar Peninsula, man. Is my audio okay? What's up, Popeyes? Okay, good deal. All right, I'm down here at Bolivar, man. We're at Jose's Cantina. This is where Sheriff Fullen is going to be doing his attaboy pat on the back crap and everything, for the Jeep weekend. Let me back up a little. Channel 2's out here right now. And our mainstream news is out here. Okay, but they said they were not going in. They said that they could go in, but they just told me that they are not going to be going in. So, what time is it? Oh, it's starting. I need to get up in there. I'm going to put this other camera on. Okay, so here we go, folks. This is going to be the old pat on the back to Jimmy Fullen for what he did on Jeep weekend. We're going to walk up in here and see if we get denied. Because, if we're approved media, quote unquote. Sheriff Fullen's already up in here.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Que no tiene luz.
Where's the powwow? Is it back? Which way? Straight ahead. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's go.
So that was quieter.
That's easy.
I kept telling her, I said, Nancy, you have to remember where you're at. We're not in a big square.
No, one thing you're worried about the sales. I mean,
Find a spot over here. Perch up. There's the sheriff himself right over there. Looks like he's got Captain Matthew right next to him. And folks, I need to do something really quick. I forgot before this thing does pop off. I'm gonna run back out really quick. I'm sorry. Check and double check. Alright. So I haven't started just yet. I kept hearing mixed times, 5:30 and 6. I couldn't make up their mind. The date is wrong. Was it yesterday or today? So it looks like it's definitely going to be today. We're gonna see if Fullen's gonna play the censor media card again. Looks like Matthew is over there conspiring. We'll see what happens. There's Captain Matthew over there. He's conspiring with somebody. They're looking over my direction. Well, they're mean mugging me. Y'all can't see this and everything. They are mean mugging the shit out of me. That one dude right there in that blue shirt. This is mean mugging the crap out of me. They're definitely not happy that I'm here. Matthew keeps looking over at me. Just to show you guys, let me flip my camera. I'm wearing my shirt that they definitely don't like. Okay. So look, right here, Matthew. I'm trying to get zoomed in. He keeps mean mugging the crap out of me. That white haired dude.
Good afternoon, everyone. We got a pretty packed house, so if y'all don't mind, one flyer said 6 o'clock. I thought I told everybody 5:30. Clearly, y'all are here just in time. My name is Jimmy Fullen. I'm your Galveston County Sheriff, and thank y'all. I appreciate that.
Look at the bootlickers.
I took the initiative to call this meeting because I felt like you deserve to know exactly what we did, why we did what we did, and how it turned out. So I'd like to go over a few ground rules. We're going to be as honest with you as we can. We're not going to discuss any pending cases that are criminal up here. We're not going to be the judge and the jury up here on this stage. That's for the courts to figure out later. There will be a answering question series later on after we get through speaking, giving you some stat numbers and some other details. We like to keep it civil. We're certainly going to keep it civil. We ask everybody else does. Y'all, we've had town hall meetings in the past over Beach Weekend, and it got kind of hostile. So we want to kind of keep it on a lower tone. But anyway, with that being said, as y'all can remember, some of y'all, during the last 2 years during campaign trail, you had candidates telling you what they were going to do and what they weren't going to do. You had previous administration telling you what they couldn't do on the beach, and you had somebody telling you what they could do on the beach with the proper plan that's approved by GLO. And that was me. I promised y'all that I was going to come over here and we were going to, in essence, shut Jeep Weekend down or bring it down to a minimum. I think we effectively did that thanks to the GLO, thanks to the beach access plan for the Galveston County and the commissioners voting that in right before Jeep Weekend. Thank God for social media. We were able to get out early ahead of it, a couple of months in advance, and push it out on social media what we were going to be doing. We didn't hide anything. Thank God that Texas still allows checkpoints. That really helped us out a lot. And thank God for emergency service districts. Thank God for DPS, Houston Police Department, Harris County Sheriff's Office. They all came together when we asked, and we ended up with 526 officers on this peninsula for Jeep Weekend. Some of y'all might have been and heard me speak in the past when I tell you I have a unique connection to Bolivar. I worked here in the late 80s in the city of Crystal Beach before they just incorporated it. So I do have Crystal Beach and Bolivar kind of close to my heart. And once I made that commitment that I was going to make sure we turn this community back over to y'all, I stuck to that. And we're going to continue sticking with that, whether it's Jeep Weekend, whether it's Memorial Day, 4th of July. Will we have the manpower and the resources we have every given weekend? Absolutely not. Are we going to be monitoring social media to see that y'all might have things coming in that we really don't, that we want to monitor and closely watch? Yes, we are. And if we do so, we got the commitment from the Commissioner's Court to add a little bit of overtime if we need to get extra patrol deputies over here to take care of any problems y'all may have. So with that being said, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to bring up Captain Tommy Maffey. He's the one, he was kind of over this whole project on the peninsula. He kind of coordinated it with the help of others. He's going to run over some stats that I gave y'all. And again, y'all can ask questions about the stats later on once we get through with that. But before I do that, let me introduce my command staff real quick. All these guys and girls are over here helping out the whole time. I got Chief Mel Villarreal, Captain Curtis Pope, Tommy Maffey, Sergeant Henry Pareto, Captain Derek Fillmore, Chief Joe Caldwell, Captain Jennifer Cagnon, and Captain Hassan Mustafa. And where is my resident sergeant? Oh, I'm sorry, Major, I apologize. Major Isaac. And my resident sergeant, Sergeant Kitchen. Oh, and I'm sorry, last but certainly not least, your county commissioner, Joe Justick. Tommy, you want to come up and run over these stats real quick?
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I won't sit up here and I'm sure everybody's like me, they don't want to sit up here and go over numbers and stuff like that. But I do want to highlight some things for y'all. Most importantly, I want to highlight what violent of event this has been for the past probably 25 years, really anything, right? And so what we did is we went over the stats for 2022, 2023, and 2024. And we really looked at those stats going into the planning phase of this. And what we really kind of stood out to us is that if you look at the aggravated assaults, that is people who were shot. They weren't just shot at, those people were shot, they were injured from shootings. In 2024, we had 7. In 2023, we had 4. And in 2022, we had 5. Also, homicides. We had at least 1 in 2024. Sex offenses. You had 1 in 2022, 3 in 2023, and 1 in 2024. Shootings. These are shots being fired on the beach and in the area of the Jeep Weekend. 1 in 2022, 11 in 2023, and 14 in 2024. If you look at those for 2025, we had 0 shootings, 0 people shot, 0 homicides, and 0 sex offenses. That is over a 100% decrease in violent crime that occurred in this county in August. So you might think, well, why was that? Well, before I go into why, I'm going to talk about some calls for service too. So if you look down there below, calls for service overall on the peninsula. That did not include traffic stops or any proactive policing. That was calls that we received to 911 or to our non-emergency numbers. 2022, 282. 2023, 394. 2024, 309. And then again in 2025, 171, which is a total of about a 45% decrease in overall calls for service for that entire time. If you look at the time, really, if you start looking at heat maps and everything else like that, that was really within a 36-hour, but really within a 24-hour period, we had over a 45% reduction in calls for service. Medical calls for service, because it's a very taxing thing for the Bolivar Peninsula. We don't have any medical facilities. There's no urgent care. There's nowhere to get any type of care. It really falls on us on our EMS and fire. And we had an overall 65% reduction in calls for service for any medical calls. So why was that? Well, it's because we had an operational plan, we executed it. Most importantly, we took a different approach this year to being proactive. If you flip over to the other page on the back of it, it really kind of highlights our traffic stops and the trends of traffic stops. As you can see, in 2025, we had 996 traffic stops that were conducted. That was a 104% increase in traffic stops over the past 3 years. And what that led to was multiple arrests. Not really any more than what you've seen in the past, that you can kind of see below that. But I'll kind of go over the GCSO arrests for this year. We had a total of 198 from GCSO alone, and then 267 from GCSO and all of our other DPS, GPD, and other partners that we had out here. So our stats really weren't necessarily up. They were kind of even as far as arrest stats. But if you look at our top 5 arrest stats for 2025 versus 2023, 2022, and 2024, they were very different. They were different because we had, the top 5 were possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, no driver's license, no seatbelt, and possession of a controlled substance. And right behind that was weapons violations. We confiscated 42 firearms on our checkpoints to all the peninsula during that week. 42. I'm a gun owner, I'm a hunter, I love it, I love guns, just like everybody else in this room. Now let me tell you, I think it's a great quote. The sheriff said on one of the suits, says, hey, they weren't coming to the beach to dove hunt. And they weren't. And that's one of those things. They were coming down here with 42 guns to do what? To commit the violent crimes that you've seen the past 3 to 4 to 5 years. That's what they were coming down here to do. We prevented them from doing that.
How does he know that?
That's all I have as far as stats. Got any questions or anything after that? Just let me know.
So you can carry them for protection.
I want to echo what Captain Matthew says. You know, everybody likes to talk about stats. I like stats too. But I like that big 0 by homicides, by shootings, by stabbings, by sexual assaults, by kidnappings. That's what I like seeing zeros. To me, that made the whole thing a success. Whether somebody was inconvenienced because they couldn't go to the beach like they wanted to, or they couldn't drive something on the beach they wanted to, I hate saying it like this, but it really doesn't matter to me. Because at the end of the day, it's my job as your elected sheriff to protect you and your interest on this Bolivar Peninsula, and I feel that's exactly what we did. So, no apologies for any other thing. I just want to make sure y'all understand those zeros mean the world to me, and they should mean the world to you, that we don't have the violent crime on Bolivar Peninsula like we had in the past. And we plan on keeping that momentum going for the near future. We are the premier destination. Galveston and Bolivar are the premier destination of the Gulf Coast. We need to make sure people have a safe place to come and have their kids out on the beach and have a good time. So, what am I forgetting now? Okay. Well, with that being said, we went over our stats. I told you where we stood with that. We are open, and my entire staff's available to answer any questions y'all might have from this point going forward. Again, we're not going to sit here and try individual cases up here of people that were arrested. We're going to let the court. We'll let the courts do that. So, with that being said, I'll open it for questioning. Yes, sir.
Y'all did a great job, by the way.
Oh, massive beat. Yes, sir.
As citizens, we also, like in my neighborhood, I introduce myself to the police officers that we're working to make sure if they need anything, we take care of what they need. But as citizens, I think we're here also to assist you guys in making everything successful. That being said, it's like a reset. We have a reset now. What are the plans like for next year to maybe kind of open it up in a controlled kind of, but allow people back on the beach to enjoy themselves, maybe have a successful Jeep weekend maybe?
I would love to have a successful Jeep weekend. I would, for instance, we were on the west end, past the elementary school, and we had a bunch of Jeep clubs out there that we actually went and talked to and met. And I've actually got their contact information. There's 4 clubs out there, and they said, how can we do this next year and just kind of zone it off? I said, what you could do is go to the county commissioner or county of Galveston and get a permit for a large gathering and do your own party on the beach. I would love to see that. Again, are we going to, will we have the staff we had this past year? Probably not. But are we going to beef it up? And any data that shows on social media that they're going to have another Jeep weekend, they're all coming, we're going to staff accordingly. And we're going to probably do our same traffic plan. I don't think we were very restrictive. People that were in residential area got to walk on the beach if they chose to. We did have some people that complained and said they were in fact stopped. I haven't been able to establish that. If we do, we will make sure corrections are made that doesn't happen in the near future. We just want to make sure that we control the way the traffic flows on the beach, and we don't restrict people, or we restrict as less as possible. And people are able to come and have a good time and not have to worry about getting run over by these big side-by-sides that are out there driving intoxicated on the beach. Yes, sir.
With that said, again, I'm very appreciative of what you guys were able to accomplish through this. Through the kitchen sink pattern, it's not been done, and now we've seen that it can be controlled. So, again, thank you. We've seen the extreme opposite side. But you just mentioned the thing that bothers me the most is the side-by-sides. You visited with Jeep folks, and I think we've decided those aren't our problem. Everybody,
That is correct. Yes, sir. That is correct.
okay, so we've established what the problem is, right?
That is correct. We have.
Okay.
And to the most part. Because there are some people out on side-by-sides, like when I was here for Memorial Day weekend, driving down the beach, they were perfectly behaved. And again, you don't want to target certain groups, but you want to just manage the flow of the traffic on the beach. And I think we did that very well. And in the coming future, I think if we work with these Jeep groups, if we work with these, maybe there's groups with side-by-sides, I don't know if there are. If there are, we work with these groups to try to encourage them to come to Crystal Beach because we need the tax base. I mean, we need it. So,
now, so just as a suggestion or something maybe we can look at, Commissioner.
am I the only one taking mental notes here? We're already taking notes.
Can we reach out to these Jeep groups and say we want you?
We can.
Let's offer them that mass gathering permits they need and organize it on our end, if possible, whether it be if we get a new steering committee here that's being formed no longer. That would be something that I can put anything on anybody else, but it may be something that we can do to entice folks the way that we want them here and not have to close our businesses down, after dark. If we have the right people here, and if there's enough of those folks, the other people don't have a place to be anyway. So
I agree with that 100%, and I've got a lot on my plate, but I'll be more than happy to sit on a committee to help bring those folks to this island so we can bring in the revenue. Go ahead, Commissioner.
I think it's a great idea. That's the type of people you want here. The rule is like a family on that holiday week. Every weekend or the summer. It's throughout the year. Because everybody knows the best time to be here, Galveston, or anywhere else along the coast, and they don't see anything. And then you want to keep attracting people during that time. Well, by doing what they did, by shutting down the problem, I guarantee you that some families wish that there's something that didn't get the word about what's going on. But they'll come back now. Because they can hear the gunshot. They didn't hear all the mess, the garbage. They didn't have to make those calls for service. So let's come back. And that's what we need to do. That's what I'm saying. We need to do is get people here and organize. If you find somebody that wants to take their responsibility for organizing, That'd be great.
Does it cost those groups money for that? Does it cost the mass gathering
There's a permit.
permit minimum?
Yeah.
To get it
Very
started?
minimal.
To get it started, if we waive that, it's something we can talk about?
Where the money would come in, is
Oh, Joe, come over here and get this mic.
I thought I was loud enough. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's a great idea. Let's do something to where we can get somebody that wants to step up and organize it. Now, what would cost them money is trying to figure out how to pay for security. That's our end of it right now. We're paying for everything, and that's fine. We're saving people's lives. It doesn't matter what it's costing the county right now. It's not that much in the grand scheme of things compared to what it's cost in the past, realistically. But how many lives were saved? Who knows? A bunch, I think. And so it's moving in the right direction. But one thing, if you do the mass gathering permits and stuff, you require them to do security, a certain amount, not all of it, of course, but some of it. And so that's something they'd have to look at doing and figure a way for them to make money to pay for that. Kind of like a Mardi Gras or something, you know, similar to that. But yeah, great idea.
And I don't want to open this can of worms, but I am, because we, as you know, when you do things like this, it's not your traditional event, or when you 500 something officers on a peninsula, it's kind of just unheard of. So you start getting open records requests for expenses and stuff like that. We are still working on that number to get that final number out, but it looks like a majority of the money that it costs Galveston County is coming out of beach sticker park and permit fees. All the other manpower that came out of state, that was all, I mean, out of the county, that was all done under an MOU. So for instance, Houston came down to assist us, didn't cost us a dime. Harris County didn't cost us a dime. So what'll happen is when they have that World Cup series coming in for soccer, we'll just donate our time back to them, and it's kind of a swash. But one thing I did forget to mention, and I've said it numerous times on interviews, and I'll say it behind closed doors, out in the public, Bolivar residents truly open their hearts and their doors to the deputies and the officers that came down and worked. 126 houses, some 600 and something beds, to where these officers were allowed to stay here on this peninsula. In the event that something major happened, we'd have them within seconds instead of having to wait for hours to get them back over here. So I want to applaud y'all, the residents. If one of y'all worthy, wanted to donate to houses. But yes, I've got the contacts of those Jeep clubs. I'm going to reach out to them. I'd love to have them back. And if I could get maybe Crosby, there's a place in Crosby, I guess, that has a bunch of side-by-side, maybe get with some of those groups, see if they'd like to come down and behave themselves and have a good time and spend some money on the peninsula. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Why would you need a permit if it's underneath your constitutional right to assemble?
According to the beach access plan from the GLO and from the county, if you're going to have a large mass gathering of 250 or more people, you have to have the permit through the county.
off the law.
Statutory. Don't like the law, get your congressman to change it. That's the law.
What about possibly releasing the body cams? I'm getting a lot of reports that lawyer numbers said it wasn't violence on the island. It sounds like there's a lot of violence committed by officers. What in particular?
Sir, if you have a specific incident you're speaking of, by all means, put in your public information request and we'll fulfill that. Okay.
There's officers that are destroying phones. Just let people see what happened. Side back and forth.
Not-
Just see the truth.
Sir, there's procedures, you know them very well. Submit your open records request and we'll fulfill that request.
Got everything looked up in 90 days.
Okay, again, I'm not trying any cases here, sir. I've said that all along. So, other questions? Yes, sir.
I'm just thinking to hear this. There's a lot of talk or a lot of noise about constitutional rights being stomped on by the Gestapo and such as that. Don't read too much into that. Yeah, did we give up some rights for those 2 or 3 days so that we could be safe and so everybody else could be safe? Of course we did. It was a great deal. We're going to do it again tomorrow.
So,
I will say this, I'm a firm believer in everybody's rights. We did everything everything, we've exhausted every means before we got to that point, to that weekend. We went to the GLO, back and forth, back and forth. Well, you can do this, we'll let you do that, we'll give you a waiver on this, we'll give you a waiver on that. We had our county legal department look at it. It went through a lot of steps before we had our final plan, and we showed up here on the peninsula that weekend. So I think we went way beyond what we probably should have, but we wanted to make sure that we didn't violate people's rights.
You know what? When I read your plan, I thought, how they'll never be able to police it. You know, about the directional, one direction on the beach and the whole nine. And you couldn't have unless you did what previous administrations said they couldn't do. And that's bring in people from surrounding municipalities, other counties, get enough officers here to police it. Yeah, I had, you know, I was kind of uneasy about whether or not you'd be able to police that or not. Like, it went pretty smooth.
Well, thank you. And I knew we would be able to with the manpower because we've done it in Galveston.
I said you couldn't do it.
During the weekends they used to have back then. Somebody else have one? Yes, ma'am. You, ma'am.
I live on Honeysuckle. First of all, I want to say, why did you pick my street?
I'm gonna let Tommy answer that one. Yeah. It was. Go ahead, Tommy.
Well, I put a bunch of streets in a big bucket, and I just reached down there and I grabbed them. Truly, I don't really know. I'll tell you what we were looking at. We were looking at the distance, right, that we think that we can man what we refer to as the public safety zone. And so we started looking at what that looks like, how far that would be, and things like that, and where the entrance and where the exit would be. So we focused on the exit first, which we picked Stingray. We got that approved by TxDOT, which is it was the easiest street to be able to get that approved by TxDOT. So we started there and we said, okay, well, where are we going to make the entrance at? Well, we started looking down there by Crenshaw School and everything else like that. And then you realize real quick, you have to have, because we did the public safety zone in that one area, and then we had the other area that was the beach sticker zone. So we didn't want them to be able to link up together. Because, you know, if they want to come and be a part of the problem that's been in the past, we didn't want them to be able to kind of link up together. So we knew we had to have two streets, which is why we had Honeysuckle and then the one right by Crenshaw. Yeah, that's how we picked that one.
I want to tell you, we were a little concerned, and it was so smooth that the officers that were there were wonderful, very polite, talked to us, and we had no problems whatsoever. And we were a little concerned about that, how much traffic it would be.
We had what you didn't see is we had contingencies in place that we had actually six deputies assigned for that street, where they started to back up and they started going into your neighborhoods and things like that. That was one of the big things as part of this whole thing. We said if we restrict the beach and things at the beach, there's two problems that can occur. First problem is the roadways. You got to look at the roadways, make sure it doesn't become gridlock. But we have to face the reality is there was traffic in the past, right? So that was one thing that we had to deal with, and we want to make sure too they didn't bring the party into the neighborhood. And so that's why you saw police officers at least every other intersection for about 6 to 8 miles. That way they couldn't go into your neighborhoods, destroy your houses, damage your property, and things like that.
Regarding the roadblock, could you clarify that when the passenger was inside the vehicle obligated under law to identify themselves, or did simply the driver?
No, it was the driver of the vehicle. You're required to provide your driver's license.
So 400 people were in the car without identification?
Correct.
Thank you. Why not follow up with the Stingray Honeysuckle question? It's a three-part question, if you don't mind. Number one, will you be using the same hat next year? Number two, can our street names be taken out of the hat? Or, number three, can you just send them straight across Stingray Road down to the parking lot?
Over there, the Stingray restaurant? Yeah.
Other than that, I love it.
Now, let me just tell y'all this. There is no perfect plan. I think this one was about the best we could get. That's why I asked y'all earlier, if you have some constructive criticism, we'd love to take it and kind of custom mold our plan for next year. The bottom line, at the end of the day, we just want to make sure we have a plan that's safe for everybody and people have a good time coming here and don't have to worry about being shot, mugged, stabbed, kidnapped, raped, or ran over by a side-by-side of a drunk out on the beach. So we will definitely be re-looking at some of these plans. Do we need to modify some? Maybe, maybe not. But we will definitely start looking at them.
So, obviously it wasn't your administration, but at some point or another, we started with a small Jeep weekend. It was the police. It got bigger, bigger, and bigger. We ended up with the problems we had. It didn't start out the problem we ended up with the last 3 years. What I've been seeing, at least down where we enjoy the beach, is we're still seeing on normal weekends, things are getting rougher and rougher and rougher and rougher. We're seeing more troublemakers and less families. And we're seeing more troublemakers and less families on just a normal average weekend than we were seeing 5-6 years ago.
No, we're not.
Where are you on the beach?
Well, I'm down around Boyd Road. That's where we're at, and I'm not. But my point being is, what are the plans moving forward on our day-to-day policing of the beach to control these weekends so that we don't have a weekend that grows back into another Jeep weekend or another big event?
Yeah. Danny, you weren't planning on being called, but come here. Danny is, as y'all know, he's your resident sergeant over here. And Danny is in constant communication with us, the chief deputies, the patrol commander, saying, hey, this is what we're seeing on social media, this is what we're having. And Danny has the authority at any point, if he feels like something's going on Peninsula that needs to be addressed, he has the authority to bring in people and hire whoever he needs to hire, and we'll cover the overtime. But go ahead and answer the question, Dan.
You don't have to ask it again, I was talking over here.
So what he wants to know,
Let me repeat it. I believe, come on, summarize it. He's saying that in his section of the beach that he's seeing, he's starting to see more rowdy people come down on a regular basis, not just on big weekends. And what are we planning on doing to address that on a regular basis?
We have what used to be our sticker details, not sticker anymore. They're concentrated mainly just to the beach area. They work the earlier parts of the daytime and into the night. Some of them stay till 1 or 2 in the morning. Usually 4 to 5 people on that one. My detail is the Bottle Direction Patrol detail. I usually have 4 to 5 people on that, and they patrol up and down the beach. Now, we can't be everywhere at one time, so we rely on you guys to make a phone call to us. Call us, let us know what's going on, where it's going on at, and somebody's going to get there as quick as they can. The biggest thing we're trying to address right now, 4-wheelers, no helmets, things of that nature, people doing donuts all over the place. Because Lord, I hate getting out there riding over donuts. Everybody knows you got to have denture work done as soon as you're finished. So, but it would help us tremendously. You guys give us a call. We take these calls all day long, and we'll get there as fast as we can and get it taken care of.
In perspective, not every day.
In perspective, your day-to-day operations on the peninsula, there's only 2 deputies over here and Sergeant Kitchens, so 3. That's if he's on or, whatever hours he's working. So they work this shift from 6A to 6P and then 6P to 6A. There's only 2 per shift. What he's saying is that during the busy portions of the year, you probably don't see the people that you're referring to year-round, I would assume, correct?
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is it seems like these people are, the craziness that has happened with whether it be that people run, whether they're on a side-by-side or they're driving their truck down the beach, or it's not, I'm not grouping anybody. But instead of a quieter family get-togethers where everybody, I'm not saying they're not having a beer or 2 or whatever, but they're within reason. We're seeing people that are getting a little crazier, a little out of reason. And as much as I'd like to say that the sticker people are helping, the minute they check it, if they've got a sticker, they just keep on rolling down.
Yeah, so that's what we have actually. We have a Crystal Beach budget that we work with that the Commissioner of Courts approved. And so we have two details. One's a sticker detail, and they manage the beach. And then we have an extra patrol detail also. Each one of those average, it is just on a normal weekend, 5 people for each detail. So you have the 3 that you have like just regular patrol, and additional 10 for a total of 13. That's on each given weekend on the busy portions of the year. Now, with that being said, for like 4th of July and Memorial Day and stuff like that, we increase that by at least half, if not double the size of that. So you might see, 20 police officers on the island. But the problem is this: you have 30 miles of beach, and you have a bunch of beach access points. I came from Galveston PD. It's a little different, right? Because there's not as many beach access points from Galveston PD. So they can truly be within that 30-mile-an-hour stretch of beach. So what the sergeant is saying, if you see something, because you're down by Boyd Road, that's not necessarily what we refer to as like the busy areas. Like you'll see the deputies, they're in the busy areas, in the hotspot areas and stuff like that. You're kind of out towards the east of that, or sorry, towards the west of that. So if you see that, call us, call the non-emergency numbers and stuff like that, and tell us, and I guarantee you, you'll see some more police in the area.
I think there's a big gap between like Harold 40 and there's a big gap where there's no beach access, so a lot of people don't park there. And that's where everybody goes in those donuts out of control. And
That's good information. That's what we cover.
Okay. And everybody get your phones out real quick. I usually tell you put your phones off, silence them. Get your keypad ready to dial the number. Let me know when y'all are ready. That's okay.
All right, you ready? I'm gonna give you my work cell phone number. You can call it, text it, whatever you want to do. 409-692-9778. And Brian, don't be passing out my personal number.
We already know your number.
I know.
I'm going to get back to questions just a second. I just want to let y'all know we're all about community policing. That's why when Danny moved over here and I took over January 1, there was no doubt in my mind who that sergeant was going to be on this peninsula and who was going to do y'all the right job. So let's go back to questions. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to get over there in just a second.
I'm concerned that you're going to scale back. I guess I'm thinking you need to do it 2 or 3 years to make sure.
I can guarantee you we're probably going to scale back from the 525 officers we have. Are we going to still man it accordingly to deal with whatever happens? Absolutely we are. We've already got that commitment from HPD, we already got that commitment from the Sheriff's Office and DPS. If we ever need them again, not just on cheap weekend, any weekend that we have a problem, that we foresee a problem, we're more than welcome to call them and ask for their help.
It was eerily quiet in our meeting. It was so nice. The other thing is how was the beach passing?
It was desolate. I mean, it was very few cars were driving on it.
He
prevented people from actually getting on the beach.
We're going to ban you. We're just going to go over here.
Yeah. Again, and full disclosure, people have sent me screenshots where people say that they were stopped with a fishing bucket and a fishing rod with their kids. I find it hard to believe that one of my deputies would stop a family going out there to go wade fishing. I just do. But again, they made that complaint. We have not gotten any official complaints like that through the Sheriff's Office. If we do, we'll deal with them. Now let me get to you.
You know the red light that was in Gilchrist from the stop? When y'all are trying to figure out a new plan for that, remember us that if we have a fatality on the beach in the summertime on any weekend, that kind of gridlock can happen. Because there's nowhere for these cars to have to go to the beach. So just keep that in mind. If y'all come up with a solution for that gridlock, maybe you could help at another time for the plan. And then another thing, and I had an issue, and it got taken care of thanks to Constable Smith, but there are so many houses down here that are managed by the out-of-state companies or an online entity, and they're just renting all these people. They don't know they've got 35, 50 people hanging out at their house, disturbing the neighborhood. And you can have a beachfront house, they can party on the beach, and then they can come up and down the street. Is there some way we can, or y'all, get to those people and let them know that this problem is happening? Because you guys, and I feel sorry for y'all. Y'all go over there and y'all say y'all have to turn the music down. You know, your cars are parked in the yard, y'all gotta do this. Well, y'all leave and then they leave and then they come back. Is there some way that if it's a local person, if it's a us or Swedes or Bob's or Remax or whoever, we'll send somebody over and we'll kick them out of the house.
Well, y'all know the property owners, the management companies, and landlords better than we do. So if you have contact with them, if you see that happening, let them know. The way we can act on it is if we get a called in complaint, we can go deal with it. Or if we see it on site, we can deal with it. But other than that, that's what we need to put the community's help in reaching out to your people that you know that are managing these properties and let them know what's going on their property.
See, that's the problem, is that you don't want to be bothered. I have somebody else that is not going to hold that close.
Right.
So, I mean, at least, you know, I know that this is a problem happening all over the state, lots of cities, but they should have some kind of local management when it's coming into these things into the neighborhood.
Yeah. Unfortunately, law enforcement, we don't have a hand in that to regulate what a landlord can and can't do with their property. I mean, again, if we see something happening, we can act on it if it's a violation of law, or if we get a called in complaint, we can go address it then. But that's the only way we can really deal with it. Yes, sir. Oh.
Can I answer that question?
Huh?
Can I give her a
Sure.
solution to that question?
We can't hear you.
Yeah. Look over here.
I'm just kidding.
So how you do that is if you know the address, and you know that their rental company is not taking care of that, you get on the phone, get on the computer, look up GCAD, look up that address, find the homeowner, call the homeowner. It'll happen, because I patrol this area every single night.
And
send them a copy of the power of attorney from the sheriff's office.
So at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Call them. They're on 24/7. They keep calling back and forth until they answer. They're gonna appreciate it. I'm telling you, I do this every night.
I've done this for 30 years. I've tried.
Well, you're not smart enough because I do it every night.
Thank you for that.
Are you ready? Yes, sir.
I've heard a lot of confusion about whenever you go back to Jesus. And I've heard it a little bit here. Well, if I'm not mistaken, clarify this for me. The Texas Constitution does not say you drive your truck up and down the beach. That is granted by the beach access plan by the commissioner's court. And there's a lot of confusion about that because everybody can say, that's not right, it's not right. It's not. That comes under the beach access plan.
He's talking about the beach access plan and what allows vehicles to drive on the beach and have access to the beach. Yeah, so you're right. It's the GLO they have their guidelines, and then they have our beach access plan. Which, by the way, again, we're going to ask for y'all's input because we are going to modify the beach access plan for Bolivar Peninsula so we can better manage it and less restrict it. So, was that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was pretty much my question.
Okay.
And as a result of this, will the beach access plan be modified in the future? And where are we going with that?
It will be, so we're gonna review the,
Because of Jeep Weekend and all this stuff, we're looking at our beach access plan, right? And so what we look at is we look at Missouri County. They have a stretch of beach there where it's only one-way driving, it's the inside parking only, and you have to park so many feet between the cars. So that's what we looked at. The model for them works pretty well. So, matter of fact, Captain Maffey and a couple other people went up there and met with them to see how their plan works. And they don't have a problem clearing their beaches at all, and they don't have the problems, near the problems that we've had here on Bolivar Peninsula. So that is something that we're looking at doing in the future.
So would that beach access plan change with the Open Beaches Act? Is that how that has changed, or is that local, Galveston County.
We will work with GLO, with our local beach access plan to make sure we're in compliance with everything that they have in place.
So by amendment only.
Yes, sir. So I want to kind of steer something now. We got a lot of business owners in here. Stingray, we got the big store, we got Seaside Lumber, we got multiple realtors. So if in the future this plan continues, can we get the commitment from our local business owners to reopen their doors on what they call Jeep Weekend and make some money, and we will protect you?
100%.
Do we have that commitment from y'all? Thank y'all. That's what we want. You want to come up real quick, Doug? I want to give Doug an opportunity to speak about the emergency management side of this and the emergency district.
I'm Doug Solomers. I'm the district manager for Galveston County USD 2. We provide fire and EMS on the peninsula. I can tell you the last 3 years we have seen watching a decline in the calls for service for EMS. Anytime you create, the law enforcement presence, that there's over 500 plus out there, it definitely went from our calls for service down to 35 for the weekend. We do start this planning process every year in November, so it's not like we get together the week before and we go through this. We start in November, we work through, and in the month of February, we actually start meeting almost twice a month and staff up. We did have resources from the city of Houston, Brazoria County, Montgomery County to provide the additional staffing and the needs to be met for the taxpayers. That's my biggest concern is if we have these large events and gatherings on the beach, for those that go out there, we're going to provide EMS and a response for them. However, to me, I owe it to the people that's buying a loaf of bread every day that if you dial 911 that I can get an ambulance to you. And so that requires us to bring an additional 10 to 15 ambulances up to 130 personnel. So if you do call 911, you can get a box rolling that way.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Thank you, Doug.
All right. Thank you. Yes, sir. Commissioner. Yes.
How many times have y'all utilized as compared to a couple 3 years past, lifeline this year?
None this year. None this year. In the past, we've flown out up to 7 in a weekend. Great. My kind of question.
Yeah, so back to the GLO part. I actually contacted the GLO prior to this transpiring. They said that they gave y'all permission only for a DOT one-way transportation thing and all that, but they assured me that the beach itself was not going to be shut down to anybody wanting to actually enjoy the beach. How do you expect anybody to actually be able to get to the beach if you have every freaking road closed down and all that to be able to get to the beach and all that?
I'll let the sheriff answer that one.
Hey, Sheriff, do you mind? Did you call GLO with that shirt on? And they talked to you with that shirt on?
What does it matter? What does it matter what shirt I got on, sir? If you don't like my shirt, you don't like freedom of speech. And that's the problem, because we're going to go back and everything. If y'all think that...
May I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. So his question was, how do we expect people to get down to the beach if we had all the access points blocked, all the entrances to the subdivisions blocked? How many people in this room took advantage of our placard that says resident? Okay, that's it.
Wait, but these are county roads.
Okay, it doesn't matter. If you were a resident, you got to come in. If you wanted to go on the beach, you were able to walk on the beach and go enjoy yourself. If you were a vehicle, you were allowed to come on the beach and go one way, 6.2 miles and exit on Stingray. If you went to the west of the event zone, you got to go out there. If you had long as you had a beach sticker permit, you could go on the east side of Stingray Road as long as you had a beach sticker permit. So there was nobody that was restricted access.
Well, but if you cannot get to the beach because you can't access any of the access roads to
You
actually
did.
enjoy it.
We had them opened up. The GLO and Textile approved our entry and our exit.
Okay, and then my next question.
Okay, next question.
Hang on,
I answered the question. I'm going to the next
this was a two-part.
question. Yes, sir.
Earlier, you mentioned, I'm sorry, I'm going way
See,
back. Yes, sir.
they censor the real questions
Earlier, you
because they hate the Constitution. This guy's a bootlicker over here because he doesn't like freedom of speech. Hey, you can if he ain't gonna let me speak and ask my questions,
That's enough.
a lot of stuff work, like the
you can
That's enough.
that's enough from you. Karen,
were the checkpoint and the
this guy, he loves the Constitution.
and I don't know how to say this. Don't be
He's getting mad.
zero tolerance type enforcement. Some people might pull over 6, 7, 8 times. I mean, after a while, if you're at a class, for God's sake, you're not a problem with the car. Are we going to adjust that? That was the part where I saw.
And that's where we got a lot of complaints, and rightfully so. But you gotta understand,
Don't touch me.
the history of this event, and these DPS troopers that came in and they were briefed on what we were looking for and what, you know, and that's what they're that detail, it was a 25-person detail coming from down in the valley, and their detail was to work traffic on the freeway. I'm sorry that people got stopped, I'm sorry people had expired license plates, people didn't have their seatbelts on. Hopefully, after that it took effect. Are we planning on continuing that next year? It all depends on what we see on social media. If we see it's going to be another huge event, or we fear it might be, we'll bring those same troops back down here and do it again. Again, it's 1 week in a month, I mean 1 week in a year. If we have to continue for the next couple of years in this pattern to try to tone it down to where we can get some decent folks back on this island that want to spend money and have a good time and bring their families and rent houses, absolutely, that's what we want to do. I doubt very seriously I'll ever get that kind of manpower back. I think I can get half of that. And, you know, use them effectively on the freeway if we need to. But, again, that's one of the only biggest complaints we got with the local residents of being stopped. From my understanding, a lot of them were issued warnings, they weren't issued citations, unless somebody can tell me differently.
I do. Wasn't
So, yes.
This is freedom of speech. This is freedom of speech. You either enjoy your constitutional rights or you don't. Which one is it?
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
Hold on just a second.
Go educate yourself and everything before you
So the checkpoint is specific to traffic safety. And if you look at years past, which is now in this paper, we had a lot of, actually,
you're obviously
I like to look here
educated
like the
that
top
you don't
5
know
arrests for
freedom of speech.
2025. If you look at the top
You're
5
living
arrests
with the First
for
Amendment of the
2022 and 2024, all top 5 of those were,
No,
for the
it's okay.
most
You go
part,
ahead and go
they were
outside.
traffic related.
I'm
No driver's license, no
busy taking
insurance,
care
no
of something.
seatbelts,
Go fly
DWI,
a
things
kite.
like that. And because that we saw such a like an impact in the safety on the roadways and things like that, that was why the driver's license checkpoint was implemented for the safety on our roadways.
Let's see if our women for GCSOs are going to follow.
Right, yes.
And
DL's only, driver's license checkpoint.
We'll see if one of these deputies are going to do their job and give this guy an assault
So
charge.
how the law enforcement perspective of that, they come up to
I
the
know.
checkpoint.
You should shut up.
And they would say, hey.
Go back in your
license.
seat.
And if they have it, they're able to proceed as long as there was nothing else that was kind of glaring to them, like that they were able to establish probable cause, whether or not they didn't have a front license plate, their sticker was expired, or anything else like that. But the intent was the driver's license to identify them if they had a driver's license. If they saw in plain view, or if there was narcotics inside the car, or smell narcotics or things like that, they were shifted to an enforcement area, and then that's when they were picked up by another deputy that was out there. And they established either they did this person a citation, they didn't go to the county jail, did they need their vehicle searched because they had probable cause to search it, and things like that. So all the guns you saw were based off of probable cause searches at the driver's license check.
let me add something real quick, and then I'm going to sit down and shut back up. I saw a lot of things, a lot of Facebook attorneys all over the place saying they can't arrest you for that, they can't arrest you for that, they can arrest you for damn near anything except for speeding and open container. Everything else you can be arrested for. Period. Boom. End of story.
All right, got time for 2 more questions. Yes, sir.
Oh my God, yes, I'm sorry.
I live off of Clear, and I believe that the only way that this is going to work is like meetings like this, that we tell you what's going on so that you can react and do what we need done, okay? I live on Claren. I'm a straight shot to the big store. There's 20 mile an hour road. There is 40 to 50 mile an hour raceway through there, okay? We talked about maybe we could put some speed bumps out there, and then we were told that legally we couldn't do that, okay? But we do. We have side-by-sides racing through there. We've got cars that are racing through there to get to the store to get whatever they need and stuff. Also, I think part of the problem we need to solve is on social media, because you have such conflict of rules that supposedly are to be, because this is a highway, that sometimes these rules are not always abided by and kind of overlooked. So, and I'm not saying giving them tickets. A kid driving because a parent's going to let the kid drive the thing. But I'm saying pull them over and say, hey, that's not legal, so don't do it anymore. Okay? Until everyone gets the message about that. Riding in the back of the trucks where these kids are hanging off the sides of them and that. Pull them over and say, you can't do that. You know, I think a little bit more forcefulness towards those agendas would stop the, well, I see a cop pass by and he didn't say nothing to this guy. We can't see everything, okay? But a little bit more
Enforcement, and that's why I brought up Sergeant Kitchens, and he gave you his cell phone number. You call him, and I guarantee you, within a couple of minutes, he's going to have enforcement people out there. And I just want to say this: I'd much rather have the enforcement up front than have to come to your house or go to somebody else's house and tell them that their loved one got killed while they were on the beach because they were ran over by a truck, a DWI driver, or something like that. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, Dan.
Hey guys, also keep in mind, I'm not on duty 24/7. So, if I don't respond to that cell, call our office, not emergency line. They'll get somebody over there.
Again, I encourage y'all to call and I say it, y'all, he's everybody's. Call your resident sergeant over here if you have an issue. He will come meet with you, I guarantee you. If not, you tell him, well, I didn't get satisfaction here. Tell him to call me and I will come over here and meet with you in person. Now, what I do want to let y'all know, for your business owners and your homeowners, like I told you, we are going to start our planning committee meeting for next year's events and our beach access plan, and we do want your input because you have most at stake here on the peninsula. So we'll be letting y'all know that. We'll be doing it on social media. I will let the chamber know, and I promise you, Chamber of Commerce, we won't mention anything about Jeep Weekend. So, yeah. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for coming out tonight.
One more question,
Thank y'all so much for being civil.
Hey, one more question, Sheriff. One more question.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Look at these bootlickers. Holy shit. Oh, he's such a hero. He's such a hero. He's such a hero.
How are you? I'm sorry, did I make you feel?
They still biting? Yeah, your wife's trying to knock my ice down my shirt.
Oh, sorry.
Last year's debrief.
Oh yeah, y'all
You guys,
get in.
you guys
Gotta get them all in there.
Say cheese. And yes, we.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
I did not have a car zooming up.
Thank you, sir. Let him go.
Y'all did.
Thank you. Y'all did amazing.
That traffic point.
Thank you.
Hey, Sheriff Fullen.
You are.
Sheriff Fullen. Notice he ignored the. Sheriff Fullen, can I shake your hand?
I'll shake your
Hey,
hand.
hey, so let me ask you this question. Can
Yes,
I ask
sir.
you one question?
No, sir. I'm done. I'm trying to greet the residents.
How do you feel about people?
Let go of my hand. Let go of my hand, dude.
He was holding on to mine, squeezing the shit out of mine.
Thank you.
I thought he was just having a good fun handshake there. Look at that. You see that, folks? Okay.
Thank you.
Come on, Matthew. You know me better than that.
Oh, just chill, man.
Okay. You've had many a dealings with me, Matthew. You know better. See how they try to set you up?
I remember that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I appreciate everything you've done.
Who is that guy?
This guy wants to violate people's rights. He can't do his job and everything without doing that. And all these people up in here think that their rights and everything are more prominent in everything than everybody else's rights. You know.
Just who are you? What's your name? We don't act like that on Bolivar. So
No, y'all just think that y'all's rights supersedes the rights of everybody else.
not true.
That's exactly
Why don't you go to
true.
law school and come back and tell me that?
That's exactly what's true and what's going on here.
Take that shirt off. That's very offensive to my right.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. He doesn't want to answer the hard question.
I got a license plate and I followed the law. So all this thing like that.
Doom squad, patrol, protection.
It's out there. They're going to be there forever. Thank y'all for everything. I think we'll see the first night. Yeah, you guys don't take care. Thank you.
Hey Bruce, how are you?
Yeah.
I got injured, Bruce.
How'd you get in?
How many folks did
Were
you
you
smash
the one
over
that got
Jeep
your arm
weekend?
slammed into a door? Because you're tired?
What's that now, guys?
Are you the one that got your arm slammed into
Yeah,
a door?
I
Down there
hate
in
that.
San Antonio?
Yeah, that was me.
I like this guy. I don't know.
What's that, Bruce?
I shouldn't.
I need to know your thing.
People trying to record you, you broke their phone. I'm on a body cam. They're a fucking
She's
liar.
inside now. They're coming out of glare. But she's
Violent.
They don't like transparency. They don't like the truth at all.
Thank you so much. Max, so did you spend a lot of time on the peninsula?
Yeah, I spent a little time over here.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how are you doing?
All right?
Yeah, doing good.
Hey, Matthew. You think you can give me a one-on-one interview with Sheriff Fullen like you hooked up Grizzy?
You know what, man? How many one-on-ones have I given you in my entire career? And now you want to do this to me now? Yeah, exactly. Remember that next time.
Hey, I'm not disputing that you have not been professional and cordial to me before. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not trying to make you look bad in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, good.
I'm just wanting to ask some questions and everything that I think other people.
We'll call the office and we'll see what we can do.
Besides the citizens of Bolivar Peninsula.
Call the office,
That's it.
draft your questions, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Okay, that's all we want.
Okay, great.
We just want some one-on-one time to get some hard questions answered and everything.
Type them up, send it to us, we'll answer them as good as we can.
Okay, that's all we're asking for.
You got the email, right?
Which one? What is
the email? It's online. You just send it up, and we'll answer all the questions you need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. But man, like I said, no. I'm not saying you ain't never.
Yeah, I know. We got a good relationship. Yes, I appreciate it.
For the most part, you have always been, pretty professional with me and everything. And we've had talks when things were, whatever. And, we worked it out. We got it figured out.
We're good.
Okay.
Personally, I thought it was a great weekend at this point.
I agree wholeheartedly.
So are we ever going to get hey, Maurice, hey, are we ever going to get Harvey's phones back to him?
I don't know nothing about Harvey's phone. I don't even know who Harvey Freebird
He
is.
was freaking down there at the checkpoint when he was arrested.
I was all over this
Y'all stole
peninsula.
his phones. That was a Caldwell move, man. That was a Caldwell move. You know how many phones are at the bottom of Galveston Bay right now and everything, dude? And
There's a lot of Galveston Bay. I lost numerous in Galveston Bay.
Yeah. Well, it's because he likes to take them and chunk them off in the water and everything, or whatever he does with them.
I've lost a bunch in
Okay.
Galveston Bay.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, are y'all ever going to release Harvey's
I'll be up to
phone?
the DA's office and submit his evidence.
But
I'm
he
sure.
didn't do nothing wrong.
Again, up to the DA's office.
Man, see, this is what I'm saying.
Just
You're a
all
captain,
the
man.
body cams so people can see how they were released.
Did y'all request it? Did y'all request it? Yeah.
I've got plenty of requests in.
They have to fulfill it. They'll release them.
Hey, and I was simple assaulted by a guy. Do you want to do your job?
You're what?
I was assaulted by a gentleman.
You're assaulted?
Yeah. Do y'all want to do y'all's job? Take care of that?
Assaulted here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see anything. I saw you the whole time I was watching you.
Some dude came and he assaulted me. Are y'all
Do you have it on video?
I probably do.
Can we have your camera?
I'm sure I probably do. My shirt offends them. Is this not the First Amendment?
It's actually a private event. It's a private facility.
Yeah, but this was a public event.
Yeah, but I've had multiple customers came and act and tell me that offends them. It's a family establishment. We have children there.
I get it, and that's why I was back here for the public
I
event.
understand, but the event's over, so I was asking you to leave.
Okay. That's
event's over.
Event's over. Hey.
Static too, because we're buffering real bad.
They're asking for me to leave because my shirt's offensive. So it's a private establishment, but even though it's a public
It's being
event,
used for a public meeting.
It's quote unquote
Being used for a
over
public
now.
You're the owner, just have
Then they shouldn't have public meetings here.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
She's asking y'all to leave.
Me.
She'll ask you to
So,
Do you want both of them to leave, or is it just him?
That's fine.
You want him to leave, or
how
just?
about if I go to the bathroom and turn it inside out? Will that make you feel better?
Being used for a public meeting, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
So, who's the owner?
Me.
Is she-
I'm the general manager.
Oh, general
Yeah,
manager.
but like
But
I
not
said,
the
we
owner.
have, no, the owner's not here right now.
Daughter's the owner. So,
I just said the problem is your shirt.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you can go change it, flip it over, like you can do whatever you like. Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah.
But you understand that this is freedom of speech, right?
Yes, of course I do
Okay.
understand that, sir. But like I said, once I get complaints from my customers regarding your shirt offending them, then that's when I would ask you to leave. Like I said, it is a family restaurant. We do have children here and stuff like that, and they're everywhere.
Stay back here with all the,
Yeah. I understand,
adults
sir.
and everything.
But
for
like
the
I said,
public,
it's
meeting that y'all gave and everything.
I know, I
you know?
understand.
I'm trying to.
So I
you
would
know,
like to, I mean, you can do that or you can leave, whichever one you would like to do. Yeah.
Look, I don't need your input, man. I was taking care of it with her. She said I can go turn it inside out. Well, so I can keep doing what I do. So she wants me to walk through the restaurant, you know, go find the bathroom to show all the children and all that. Like, do you see folks where this makes a lot of sense? Oh, crap. Yeah. No, about that. I'm not using my equipment. Forget that. All right. All right, y'all. Yeah, public forum.
Oh.
Yeah, sheriff called a public forum about him being a unconstitutional tyrant over Jeep weekend and everything.
I like your shirt.
You like my shirt?
I do like your
See,
shirt.
look at this, folks. I was just asked to leave here. Are you about to give them your business?
Yeah.
They
I have
just
some
asked me to
friends-
leave because of my shirt.
Seriously?
I swear to
it's
God.
Probably because of the word, not what it says.
Well, but yeah, it doesn't matter though. This is freedom of speech and everything.
I do get that.
See, and that's
But you
the
have
thing.
freedom of speech, but you're not free of consequences.
Yeah, well, but you
So-
shouldn't give business to people that have that type of mentality that want to take our freedoms from us in our constitutional God-given
Well,
rights.
I'm sorry that they did
I know
that
they
to
probably got really good food maybe
do.
here and everything, but if
Yeah, I've got friends from out of town and they want crawfish, so this is where we're going.
yeah, I feel you.
All right.
It's just like I said, man. This is how you fight the dumb stuff, man. It's just don't give them your business and all that, you know.
I understand.
But they literally conducted a public forum with the sheriff of Galveston County, and then wants to sit there and say, "You need to leave because my customers don't like your shirt."
The world we live in.
But if this is who you want to give your business to and everything
today
and all
it's
that,
gonna be,
you know, by all means, but everybody out there, I wouldn't give the business to Jose's.
Like attorneys, to sue people or something?
Yeah, we're trying to get together some stuff because especially with like that checkpoint, there was a lot of people that, and
Well, look, we are owners of towing companies.
Oh, okay.
And they never call us, but we have other problems we have. So if you want to take my number,
Write it down.
if you want to write it down or if you have a card. But yeah, I wanted to kind of explore the towing situation that happened because that Apple towing that they had run everything.
Is out of Houston.
And a major contributor to his campaign.
yeah, today TV alert came into
So
our
I'm
facility.
Galveston Island Transparency on YouTube, and that's Texas Tyrant Slayer.
Well, my name is Pedro, A1 Record.
Oh, okay.
We local, just give me a call.
Okay, yeah,
we'll
I'll
do.
give you a call.
All right, Pedro. Yeah, we'll all get together
Something was fishy
sometime.
about
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
heard from some of the guys in Galveston too that there was something really fishy going on.
Yeah. We're trying to expose it all. Yeah, we're trying to expose it all.
Thank you,
Sir. Thank you, Pedro. What's Pedro?
Uh-oh, I think. Oh, yeah. No, my mic is still good. All right.
I don't know who all got back in here, but.
Hey, am I okay right here? Do you know if I'm okay right here?
I'm not sure. Let me go ask them. I wasn't there.
Okay.
Work here.
My phone's ringing. The golf cart's just ringing. It's an interesting horn on it. I'm okay. Yeah, you folks, y'all call Jose's. Here's the number. All right, y'all voice y'all's opinion to them and everything about how the manager just
Jump back over
set
to
us.
the new one.
409-684-1180 and 409-684-8612. Yeah, they held a public forum and then they want to act like this. Pretty crappy, huh? That yours?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it was just ringing.
Am I your? Oh,
It was just ringing.
Ain't no big.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting horn. I thought it might have been your alarm system because I got too close.
Because I was totally against this shit the whole way, and that son of a bitch in there, oh, don't put me on film on this.
No, you're good, brother, man. We about freedom of speech, brother.
That kitchen, the officer kitchen, I went down there trying to get the, they gave you a pass so they wouldn't harass you. That was on the internet. So you don't get harassed. We're going to give you a pass. What the hell are you going to harass me for anyway? So now I went out to get the pass. They're giving them all out. We don't have any more. I said, I should get a VIP. There's 10 people standing right here wanting to get a pass. So they call it a placard.
Yeah, the sticker.
You couldn't, so the officers wouldn't harass you. And that was what they said on the internet. So now I go down there and I tell this guy, I should get VIP. I said, my address is on my driver's license. Everybody, 10 people standing around want one that y'all don't have anymore.
Yep.
Have a water bill or electric bill.
Yep.
And that's how they're getting it. They got a place to go. Don't even come here.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't have no place to go. This is where I live. And you won't give me a pass and you're laughing in my face about it?
That's right.
You.
That's right.
I don't like Kitchen at all. He's my neighbor. And if you put this on the news, he's going to be up my ass and harass the hell out of me.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. There's a lot of corruption going on. I actually heard and saw where he was actually making threats to the businesses down here in the gas stations to not sell the freaking passes and everything while they were down here. So where were you going to get these passes at and everything?
I've been here since 1997.
So, man, dude, I've been coming down here since 1996 and everything, man,
this,
enjoying this
run
beach.
This number. Well, we've been coming to fishing since about 92, but we used to rent, but we bought in 90. But just look at the price it costs them. They can talk shit all they want. He's saying 500 and something officers. Run that number. What's an officer get? 300 a day?
Look at all these bootlickers with their smiles on their face. Oh, he did such a damn good job this weekend, man.
That's $150,000.
Did such a damn good job this weekend.
A ship.
Yeah, no, the amount of money that they spent on it was insane.
I pay $11,000 a year just on property taxes.
Yeah.
And the son of a bitch laughed in my face that I wanted to pass. That's what pisses me off. Yeah. I have no say so, and I pay $100.
Yeah, disrespect from the police.
Right. It costs me $1,000 a month just to live here for property taxes.
That's right. And it's about to go up now. Like, he wouldn't call on me because I wanted to finish up and everything. Who was going to pay the taxes, and are they going to raise the taxes now with all the lawsuits that are going to end up coming and everything with all of his shenanigans and all that? The patrons of Bolivar are over here sitting there praising this man, but are they going to praise him when all y'all's taxes go up sky high to cover all the lawsuits?
I'll say this right on camera, probably get in trouble for it, but go look at their criminal records. Why don't they have the job they used to have? Because they got ran off for some corrupt reason.
Exactly.
If you had a job and you were on there for 10 years, 8 years, whatever, you were going to stay there to build your seniority.
That's right.
Well, they both got run off, and both of them have criminal records.
Yeah, and Caldwell, man, dude, he's already costed the taxpayers of Galveston plenty of money.
Don't show my face.
Plenty of money.
Don't have him after my
I received $20,000 for his stupidity. Another man has. You know, so.
Don't even tell me where I live.
You know, so hey, who's paying that? The taxpayers, right? But all these people, man, that are, go Hitler Fullen. He's so powerful. He's so great. Hail Hitler Fullen. You know, they're not going to be Hail Hitler and, you know, when their property taxes shoot up sky high because of all the lawsuits that he costed the taxpayers. Yeah. All right, well. I think the sheriff is still in there, unless they snuck him out the back door. That dude grabbed my hand and he was pulling me to him and everything. The hell? No, I'm not the town drunk. I don't ever drink, man. I don't drink. I don't do shit. I'll I'll go do a hair follicle tomorrow and everything, man. And I'll do a hair follicle tomorrow. I ain't scared of shit. They can pull out a PBT right now. I'll blow in that son of a bitch. I ain't scared.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop out. I appreciate you guys popping back in, but just so that y'all know that's why we got to.
Because we have to cover one another and everything because of their tyranny and shit, man. There always has to be multiple cameras. I know, Brandon. I know. Oh, I'm just over there. I was looking to see where Fullen was, because he wouldn't never answer my question, or you know, he wouldn't even let me ask it.
I'm gonna start making my way back home.
Yeah.
Hey, did you find that static?
I did.
You ran a static?
Yeah.
Because my chat was saying that I buffered out.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff there at the end, I was trying to record when we were over there talking to him. All buffered out.
Yeah. No, I was both live and static the whole time. Alright, folks. Man, it's windy on this side too. Sheriff Jimmy Hitler Fullen gave a public forum meeting on the Jeep weekend stuff. So we were covering it, and you know, he spewed out more lies tonight. This is one of his Schustaffel SS members right here of the Nazi Germany regime underneath his control. Let's get his name and badge number. What's your name and badge number, deputy?
Hey, Manuel. Fillmore. How's it going? You come in.
Fillmore. Fillmore. The badge number. Yeah. He's
Okay, that'll work.
he's gonna be evasive.
Hold on 1 second. Excuse me, I'm on the phone.
That's fine. No,
Excuse me, I'm
yeah,
on the phone.
you're a public servant. What's your badge number? You give me your badge number and I'll walk away. You don't have a badge number? How do you not have a badge number? Everybody has a badge number. He's part of that SS Schustaffel regiment underneath Sheriff Jimmy Hitler Fullen.
Okay, yeah,
So, this clown. I'm on the phone. Go fucking after that. Get the fucking mic thing. But yeah. Fullen, I think, is still up in there getting all of his attaboy pats on the back. You know, all that. So, but hey, we got this covered. You know, there's a gentleman that asked that very interesting question. They're definitely all bitches. Alright, guys. Let me de-rig. Hey, thanks, Ollie Bill. Look at that. There's complaint packets for Galveston County. And for GPD, I got a stack of them. Got 15 each. Look at all these clowns out there. Look at all the clowns. They're probably conspiring. I'm gonna put y'all up here so we can stay live till we're safe. Plug up. Excuse me, Bill. I ain't had nothing to drink in a minute. I wanted to finish off with the, how do you feel to be looked upon as Adolf Hitler himself now, with all your shenanigans that you did, believing that everybody else's rights down here superseded and trumped the rights of everybody else's and all that just because they voted for you. So, but he knew it was going to be another hard question, and he sure as hell wasn't going to let me talk again. So, I'm surprised they even let us in there. I guess he learned his lesson and everything from the other night. Channel 2 was out there at first, but they didn't go in. I want to know why they didn't go in. They covered it from outside. And they didn't go in. That's what I'm talking about, folks. About the fake news and all that. They're only going to tell you what he wants y'all to hear and know, but we went in. And you'll see where they refuse to do their jobs when it, involves us and all that. So, derelict of duties. But yeah, that one dude was unhinged in there. I think he was a cop. Dylan, I'm sorry if that sun is bright. We're about to turn. It'll get a little bit better. But yeah, we started off early tonight because of this. And you saw where Sheriff Jimmy Hitler Fullen didn't want to answer questions. And he wanted to be intimidating towards me. Like, I really took that act that he did to me as like an intimidation factor and all that. Alright, y'all are back. I think I buffered for a second there. They don't get very good service down here. That was another reason why I think he chose areas that he chose. Because, yeah. Because one thing I noticed in everything that night, they actually had an AT&T truck, a mobile, like, it looked like an antenna system and all that. And I have a feeling that they played a part in this crap as well to give them service, and when nobody else would. And they have the power to do that. They can do this, folks. Like, don't think for 1 minute that they can't. So, but that captain, you heard, I asked, you know, about Harvey's phones once again, and nope, they're thieves. They're the criminals, straight up. Straight up. And it's all because they just want to silence us. And then y'all heard where Maffey, man, Nick, I thought you and I were always good. This, that, da, da, da. You know, and you over here doing this now. Well, your bitch ass is the one that put this shit together. Your bitch ass is the one that fucking allowed Grizzy, you know, Hood News to fucking do what she did. But then when we showed up, you wanted to fucking put up First Amendment tape. You did it to yourself, Maffey. You did it to yourself, okay? You could have been respectful like you were, you know, back when you were on the streets as a sergeant and everything. Let us do our shit. But no, you were part of the conspiracy and everything to imprison a man for some dumb shit after y'all pushed him into a street. Plain and simple. Because all you high-ranking assholes was down there. Y'all could have stopped it. Y'all could have said absolutely not. But no, y'all gave the command to do it over the radio. I heard that. I heard that.
Delta Jared is clear. Via eligible to start 2029. Discuss. Go ahead. 601 Street, the post office inside for a transient. Right now, with this postal on that customer.
Let me get on, let me get on, let me get on. that's very rare. Very, very rare that you just come across and are able to hop right on. That's awesome. And of course they put me in a bad spot. Got the thumbs up, I'm good to go. Huh? And the horn blows, they're saying they're ready to go. Hell yeah. Perfect timing, folks. Perfect timing. Don't get no better than that. Let me get up in here in these chats now, man. That's right, Billy Wayne. That's exactly what Thomas Jefferson said. All clear. Captain said all clear. Everybody, y'all subscribe. Hit that like button. Yeah, but you see, he was very evasive on answering questions. GTA Rebel. We want to ask questions. He don't want to talk about our questions. Oh, I know, Billy. When he grabbed a hold of my hand, dude, and he was all like pulling me to him and shit, dude, and you know, I mean, he had a firm grip, you know, and that you know, nothing wrong with the firm grip. And I wasn't thinking nothing of it, but dang, dude, like then he starts pulling me towards him and all that. Look at this. I mean, I don't give a crap if that dude was on the phone or not. He's a public servant. Hey, look at who it is. We got Galveston Island Transparency in the house. He's safe also. What's up, man?
Made it off the island.
Yeah, we've made it off the island. They're feeding the seagulls. We have tyrants on board the vessel. Let me grab my battery pack. I need to keep my phone on charge. You know, I didn't want to come off out of the gate, you know. I actually wanted him to actually allow me to ask questions. So that was my tactic and everything. But then he wouldn't let me ask any more questions. So this cocksucker right here. Oh, that's Gaiden. Look, y'all, it's Gaiden. I ain't seen Gaiden in a long time. Bad hair day? You never had a good hair day, Gaiden. That mustache dude fucking for the longest, dude, was like, dude, this motherfucker used to have handlebars and shit. Okay? Let's go on the other side. Let's really piss him off. I like this guy. I like to piss him off. What's he doing? He's writing emails. Send an email to that cocksucker sheriff tyrant freaking Jimmy Adolf Hitler Fullen for me. Pull it up, man, and type out a freaking email for me, Gaiden. Come on, do your public service duties. I just want you to type out an email for me. He told me, Maffey, your captain told me to send an email. So send the email for me. Y'all can't see? Sorry. Hey, Maffey told me to send an email. Will you send the email for me, Gaiden? He ain't got the big mustache no more. He finally trimmed it. He finally trimmed it. This fool used to have some handlebars, man. And he says we caught him on a bad hair day. Bad hair day. Come on, Gaiden, just send an email for me. Do your public duties for today. Come on, man. Fine. Hey, for real. Between me and you, Gaiden. Hey. Alright, forget the email. Just roll your window down and talk to me. It's been a minute, man. Gaiden, it's been a minute, man. Talk to me, bro. Be nice. Look, I'll be nice to you, be nice to me. Okay? Come on. Let's just have a cordial conversation. I think his radio up. Yeah, he turned his radio up. He's jamming out. He's jamming out. Gaiden. Come on, man. Just... Bro, it's been a good long minute since I've got here to talk to you. Huh? Huh? This is our unit. Hey, take a squeaky pig. Take a squeaky pig. Here, take a squeaky pig. Take a squeaky pig, man. You need help, man. Hey, I'm trying to make you feel better. Hey, you want a binky? You want a binky? He is cranky, man. Yeah. Bye, Gaiden. Oh, he's definitely resisting, ain't he? He's jamming out. Look at him. He's tapping his hand. He's jamming it out, jamming it out, jamming it out, jamming it out. He's jamming it out. He's a loser. He's crying. Oh, found another one. We found another one in the course of his duties. We found another one. You don't want to talk. Oh, he's a major. You're a major? You're a major? When did you get promoted up to major? You're a major? Oh, wait. You're part-time. So what is it exactly that you do now? The what? The green?
No, the Marine.
Marine Division. Oh, Marine Division. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. You were the one down there at the meeting, weren't you? Yeah. It looked like you were mean mugging me, man. Yeah. When you was over there with Maffey. Oh, that wasn't you at the meeting with Fullen? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you was over there with Mafia, it looked like you was mean mugging. Yeah. I mean, if you're not happy, I can help you out. I got a squeaky piggy. Oh, so look, man, look, we got one that took one, man. Heck yeah. Put it on your dash. Anytime you're feeling down, squeak the piggy, man, it'll make you feel better. Yeah, just be nice to the public, man. It's not hard to do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool deal, man. Hey, you have a blessed day, man. Yeah. Huh? You'll see me? Yep. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Oh, okay. All right, just checking, man. Making sure that wasn't like a, hey, I'm gonna come get you now.
What's your name?
Used to be concerned citizen. Yeah. Harold? Daryl. Okay. Isaacs. Right on. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of rebranded and everything, you know, and some of y'all, like me, a lot of them don't, but, we just, want everybody to be treated correctly and fairly, that's all we're asking for, when you sit there and you want to start trampling on other people's rights, just in the name of safety for other people's rights and everything, and they're, that's not cool. And there's a lot of residents of Galveston County that are highly upset right now about what for another job at another agency, man. Because I mean, let's be real, man. If he ain't got no deputies to serve underneath him, man, then what's Galveston County gonna do? I mean, who would want to? That's how Adolf Hitler was able to create genocide and everything back in the 1940s and everything. Is he wrote dumb bullshit rules and laws on the books and then had his order followers follow him and everything,
That was a bad dude, man.
It was a bad dude, but I mean, when
my grandfather was at the Nuremberg trials, he was there when they had the trials.
Yeah, I mean, look, as the sheriff, you got to be able to protect everybody's rights and protect everybody's safety and everything without expending the rights of others and everything. And if he can't do that, then he's just not qualified for this position. He should probably step down, and the sad thing is I've said this before, I tanked Nolan's campaign, and I probably shouldn't have now, because had I known we were going to get stuck with this tyrannical yahoo, I would have never done that, because I know Nolan would have never done that, Yeah. But, well, cool. I hope you enjoy your squeaky pig at least. Yeah. Heck yeah, man. At least he was cool and respectful, man. You have a blessed day, brother. All right. Yep. Always. Yeah, he's squeaking it. I did. He took it. He was cool. He wasn't too bad.
Yeah, a lot of those old schools, man,
Yeah, they got a lot different sense of humor and everything, man, and they don't take shit so serious, and
And they're a lot better at talking,
Exactly. They have communication skills, Except for if you're, Jimmy Hitler Fullen, and Joel Caldwell. Woo, man, we were having Caldwell fired up, man. He got dookied. Bruce got dookied by a seagull. Hey, screw you guys up there.
Take one hit me.
Man, y'all need to go do something with yourselves.
Hey, you're in the shit zone.
Yeah, well, they were feeding them back there. I'm sure mine's probably covered in shit. But man, we were pissing Caldwell off. I could just see it on his face.
Oh yeah, they were mad, dude.
Bro, he was fixing to go hands on with it. Even though he was a gimp with his arm all jacked up.
And yeah, dude, he's a sociopath.
He is.
Yeah. And I got quite a few boos there when I saw the violence from the police officers. That was great.
Hey, they don't want to speak
They
the
don't want to
truth.
hear it.
They don't want to speak the truth. I wanted to end it with, so Sheriff Fullen, you know, just out of curiosity, how is it that you want to be the sheriff and protect everybody, only the certain citizens of Bolivar, but you want to violate everybody else's rights in the process? And I mean, as the sheriff, don't you think that you should have the ability to protect everybody without expending the, you know,
I saw that
rights
there was
of others?
a few people that like had some stuff to say, but you know,
I'm sorry, do we know if he's on the seawall side or the business side?
Am I back in now? Or am I still buffering?
Where I'm from that way.
I don't know why I'm buffering. Okay, I'm 5x5. I'm back. Cool.
He might have just
Alrighty.
right here
Good deal.
57 Seawall. I don't see him on the Seawall. He might have went down.
And
Is there any unit near the back?
I think we're going to be docking here in just a second so I can get this thing plugged up. Hey, Bayou Preppers. Thanks. Cool. Yeah, we're back on the Galveston side.
B95 one-time route to location.
Yeah, I think I triggered Maffey
072.2, repeating 072.2.
when I asked him if he was going to get me a one-on-one with Sheriff. Like he did Grizzy. He didn't like me calling him out like that. No, Ruthless, I'm not a cop. I wouldn't sell my soul to the devil to do that.
What's the description again, Alex?
We're good now. Absolutely. Billy Wayne. Oh, we have a Marine in front of us. I didn't even notice that. We should have asked him what he thought about things. Kind of wished I would have now. I mean, I pulled up right behind. I just wasn't paying attention. I was just, you know, I saw that sheriff unit. Wanted to go see who it was, and it was Gaiden. He used to hate me too. Bad. He probably still does. That's okay. He wouldn't take the piggy, but the major did. That's right. That fool gonna be squeaking the shit out of that pig, man.
Where do I got in custody?
In 1934. Four two 482.99.
Very cool.
And I can't wait to catch up with Maffey again. When it's just him and I one-on-one. He's an oath breaker. He didn't sit there and protect that man after what he did. But part of this was his plan, though, so. Good deal, Wingspan. Heck yeah. But you know, all the bootlickers that were there in that meeting tonight, they'll still go back over there because they hosted it, and you know, they're all on the same page. Hopefully the owner will have a different stance on it. You know, bootlicker, pro police or not, maybe the owner might have a different stance. Oh, I'm about to get harassed. Look, watch.
Medic 7.
Medic 7.
Service on a transfer.
They are repaving the roads. It's good because a lot of these roads definitely need fixing for sure. Most definitely. Most definitely. Oh man, dude, this dude's almost running the light here. Hmm.
Nineteen four one two.
No.
Can you check Stephen Earthstone? He was born in 1990. We deal with him a lot.
I still have Gaiden behind me, y'all. Oh, there's a work truck right here.
219. 219.
He's changing lanes too.
92 in the area of the Volta, 417 and 518 for a black male, 5'4", and a B, sunglasses and jeans. Last seen walking toward the Walmart. They went into his Ulta, opened up a bag, and started taking Pester's stuff out of the bag before leaving.
Until intimidation, folks. He waited to get off that ferry so he could intimidate me. Intimidation factors. But let me get y'all out. There he is right there.
Correction 945 trash. Clear, go ahead, sir. All young young.
There he goes.
0116. All young young 0116.
If you wanted to come up in here, man, and have a, conversation, we could have had a conversation.
10-4 insurance is unconfirmed on a 2017 Nissan red in color. Registration current and clear to an Ileana Ocampo out of Pasadena. No 29.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna. I hope that restaurant gets a lot of negative feedback for what they just did. They want to sit there and host a public forum event, and then they want to criticize people who want to come and express their thoughts.
Can you open up a case number for 5730 Seawall?
Y'all stand by. I'm gonna go in here and use the restroom really quick while I'm thinking about it. Maybe we can catch some action while we're down here and on my way back.
Number 3137 31.
I'll be right back, y'all.
Good for it, thank you. No. Go ahead.
547, 41, 44.
Yeah, 57 Garthway, finish with the bond. Chambers County. Outback ending mileage 078.5 between 078.5. Clear. And then at Kroger also has 10 sets of bond conditions out of county. Stability. Deal for Ocampo is currently cleared. Clear.
All right, y'all, I'm back. Man. Oh, that was fun. Very, very fun. I need to go find me something to eat. I'm getting a little hungry. My blood sugar's gonna start dropping here before long. Tell you what, guys and gals, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the live for now.
Nissan Sentra.
I think I'm gonna go find me something to munch on and give my phone a chance to charge up. It is 7:45 now. 7:45. I'm gonna find me something to eat, and if I run across anything good, then I'll hop back out here on the live again, and we can do this some more. But my main thing today and this evening was going down there to cover this. I wanted to show everybody how they were just gonna clap and, be the bootlickers that they were, all because they're the ones that voted for him, and how he pretty much said multiple times that he was going to violate everybody else's rights unless you were one of his voters that lived down there, so he could offer protection solely to them. And I think he pretty much covered all that. Yeah, all you mods, I appreciate y'all jumping up in here last minute. And I appreciate it, every single one of y'all. Wow, there's Hardin County Sheriff's over here. What's Hardin County Sheriff's doing over here? But anyways, yeah. I know we normally go live at night. And I appreciate everybody that came into the chat, of course, as well. All the thumbs up, likes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know when we go live. We're all about transparency here. It's all we want. We want these tyrants to be held accountable for what they do to people and how they conduct themselves and act and behave. And the other question that I wanted to ask him was, how did he feel about that new Texas bill that just passed, where it's going to make it a lot easier for us to throw out elected officials out of office and all that. So but he wouldn't take any more questions of mine. And Jose's not answering. I bet they're not. They are probably royally upset and mad now. I mean, like I said, if you're going to host a public forum and all that, then you need to tell your patrons that are being offended, that y'all chose to host this public forum, okay? And, politely apologize to them if anything is offensive to them and all that. I mean, is that not exactly what Sheriff Jimmy Hitler Fullen did with every other American citizen and all that on Jeep Weekend? Did he not say that maybe they should have planned more accordingly and all that? And it's just a shame that everybody else was going to be inconvenienced during that weekend while he ran around like a tyrannical Nazi. I mean, is that not exactly what he said to mainstream news media, Channel 26, and a Grizzly Hood news rat network, or whatever her freaking page is? Is that not what Fullen said? He basically said he did not care about anybody else's rights and freedoms that day and for that weekend and all that. But yet, Jose's over here can't even sacrifice a few hours. What, that thing started off at 5:30 and it's only a little after 7:30 now. So it's just a couple hours. They can't sacrifice, an hour and a half, but everybody else had to sacrifice 3 days. Come on, y'all. Get out of here. You just spoke with the owner. What the owner say? Please do tell. Share what the owner said. I definitely want to know. If you spoke to the owner, type it out. What I want to know what that guy said, or gal, or whoever. I want. Let's hear firsthand what the owners of that place just stated after they decided to hold a public forum at their place. And then they want to whine and cry about what people are wearing and everything, when they attend this public forum. I mean, I was trying to be respectful. I wasn't trying to get out of line or anything like that. I was trying to be respectful. He said he wanted to have a cordial, polite conversation and all that. I tried to be respectful and everything. So it is, but when I had some yahoo breathing over my freaking shoulder trying to freaking hump me from behind and everything, and he couldn't keep his hands to himself and all that, and was all freaking groping on me and all that, I mean, I guarantee you, if it was another local business owner over there, who wore my shirt, because he didn't agree with what happened, they probably wouldn't have asked him to leave because it was affecting their customers. So Anianu, or whatever your name is, you said you talked to him, but please do tell. I'm not going to end this. I want to know what the owner had to say for themselves of that establishment. And I'm sorry for messing up your name. I'm just not looking at it right now. Need to get somewhere where I can get something in my belly good. I ate a little bit right before I went in there, but it wasn't enough. But that's the whole reason why I wasn't like interrupting. But I mean, like I definitely wanted to ask that one bootlicker in there when he was talking about, some people might have been inconvenienced in their rights, might have, but at least their town was peaceful, or their, little peninsula. I really wanted to ask that guy y'all's rights and freedom and peace, supersedes everybody else's. Am I understanding this correctly?
Last name Sam, Ocean, Lincoln, Ocean, Mary, Ocean, Nora. First name Edward, Robert, Victor, Ida, Nora.
Oh, troll police, man. They do this to themselves, John Clayton. They can't violate people's rights or anything, man, for one community and everything. It doesn't work like that. The Constitution is the ultimate law of this land, and you can't impose you cannot impose unlawful, unconstitutional rules and laws just to appease a small portion of the population. Where did Anaya you or whatever go to? I've been asking. He said something, but he just spoke to the owner. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm messing that name up. It is a very difficult one. Obviously, that was a lie or something. I don't know. If anybody does call them and gets a hold of that owner, please do tell what the owner's stance is on that. That was the manager, and I think the manager bit off a little bit more than what she could chew. I find it interesting though why the owner wouldn't have been there themselves though, since they were hosting this. Anybody else find that kind of odd and strange? Okay, everybody, thanks for coming in. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, hit that thumbs up button. You know, I kind of anticipated possibly having some issues with some of those locals down there also before I even, went. But I was prepared for it and all that. Already mentally prepared. But alright, well, if we're not going to get an answer on what the owner said, I'm going to go ahead and end this chat, in this live. Like I said, once I'm going to eat, let my phone have a chance to charge up, and if I catch something else worth, coming back live for, then I'll hop back on. It is 8 o'clock now. GTA. 8:03. So, alright, like I said, everybody, thanks for coming in. Yeah, don't forget to donate if you'd like to help out the channel. You can Venmo me at Texas Tyrant Slayer, PayPal me at Concerned Citizen News, or you can hit that little super chat button and donate that way. But alright, everybody, until we get back out here again, hopefully everybody has a great, awesome, wonderful evening. Take care, everybody. Like I said, that's why it's very important to smash that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you know when we come back. And yeah, I'll definitely, if I catch something else, Ally Bill, I'll come back in and all that. So thank you to all my mods out there. You're always so wonderful, and y'all do a fantastic, wonderful job, and we appreciate y'all as well. All right. So God bless everyone. Catch you on the next go around. Later.